Years ago, I worked at Disney World, singing and dancing in front of the beautiful Cinderella's castle. And I would sing songs like Someday My Prince Will Come, When You Wish Upon a Star, and I was used frequently in the recordings for my voice as Cinderella. So essentially, I was a Disney princess. I ended up becoming pregnant, and I made the decision to have an abortion. And I didn't tell anybody at Disney World. I was not coerced from anybody at Disney or management. I made the decision myself, and it was a decision I would live to regret. And I really struggled. I tried really hard to get back up on that stage and sing and dance. And it was as if my very voice was taken from me, sort of like Ariel, in Little Mermaid. And I just lost my balance, and I was having a really hard time on my own trying to reconcile this abortion, which had really left me depressed and sad and inconsolable. So I quit the job that I loved the most, and I left Disney. I eventually ended up marrying an awesome man who I call my prince, and I had a beautiful daughter, and I became a mother. I was so happy to have a boy and a girl. And then I followed up with adopting 5 children. Disney does not need a princess who has had an abortion. For years, feminists have been princess bashing because they really do not grasp the power and beauty of these iconic fairy tales and what they represent into our lives and into the lives of women. They don't represent a weak example. They represent strength. They represent overcoming darkness and finding their way into the light. They represent being able to slay dragons. They represent beauty, rising above the ugliness in the world. Abortion does not empower people. I want to teach children who have come from nothing, who have lost everything, who have had their own version of living in the ashes, that they can look to that castle, that they can hear stories about dreams coming true, about wishing upon a star and being able to be anything that they want to be. We've learned so much through these iconic fairy tales. Maybe the reason why Planned Parenthood wants to rewrite these princess stories is because stories of evil witches in pursuit of killing off beautiful princesses has already been told. Maybe they just don't like their part in the story.